If you have applied for 50, 100, maybe even 300 jobs and no one is calling you back, I want you to stop blaming yourself for a minute. A few days ago, someone messaged me and said, I have been applying for jobs, but it's not working anymore. Instead of giving her generic advice, I asked her just 4 questions, because these 4 questions usually tell me exactly where the real problem is. So today, let's go through these 4 questions together and see exactly where we are committing mistakes and try to fix them. Hi everyone, welcome back to this channel. So if you are new here, my name is Lissa Remote 254 and I create content to help you build a remote career, improve your applications and navigate the job search with practical advices. If you have been feeling stuck, this channel is for you as well as also this video. So stay tuned, let's dive in together. This video was inspired by a real question from someone in this community. So the first question I always ask is, what jobs are you actually applying for? And this was something that I asked her first. Sometimes we say we are applying for jobs, but when you look closely, we are applying maybe for customer service today, data entry tomorrow, maybe graphic design the next day, and virtual assistant the day after. That tells me that the problem is that your application starts looking inconsistent because you don't have a clear picture of where your skills are a perfect fit. Instead of doing all that, choose 1 or 2 roles that genuinely match your skills and focus on becoming stronger in those areas. For example, let's say you clearly want to be a virtual assistant. One thing you need to do is to let your CV, LinkedIn profile, and all your application support that one goal that you have. Once you have evaluated that, you will never have a problem while applying for these roles. The second question I always ask is, are you using one CV for every application? Many people spend weeks applying with the exact same CV. And for context, that was her main biggest issue and one of the problems that we identified she was actually having. Every time you try to apply for a job, employers and hiring managers are looking for candidates who match their specific roles. That doesn't mean you have to rewrite your CV from scratch every time. No, it just means adjusting it so that the most relevant skills and experiences that you have actually stand out. For example, for somebody like me, I also learned that through experience. Once I started tailoring my application to match the job description, I started getting more responses, more job offers, and also just clients once a chat with me to talk more about my background and also my experiences. That is what exactly my second approach always comes in. And we always just want to identify exactly where your biggest mistake is. The third question I always ask is, are you getting interviews or no responses at all? This question actually helped me to identify where exactly the problem is. If you're not getting interviews, then your CV, LinkedIn profile, or application strategy probably needs some improvement. But if you are getting interviews and not receiving maybe any offers, then your interview skills might need some more work. These are 2 completely different problems, so they require different solutions. And for context, this is something that also we came to identify that she was having an issue with, and I was so happy to identify this area, and we worked together to actually make sure that her profiles were speaking the same language. The last question I always go in is, what have you already tried? And this is just to give me a clear picture of where you currently stand. Sometimes we keep repeating the same strategy while expecting maybe different results. Maybe you have been applying on only one platform. Maybe you are only sending applications and never networking, or maybe you are applying for jobs that require experience that you don't yet have. Before changing everything, take a step back and ask yourself, what exactly have I been doing? This is probably going to give you exact answers that you are seeking for. Because let's say you have been only applying on one platform. Maybe it will be time for you to change your application strategy and try another platform. You have not been networking. This is another thing that people always forget. Sometimes job offers come by while you network with people from that company or that industry. Or maybe you have been applying to roles that require people with senior management skills that you don't yet have. Maybe your area is only a fit in entry level position. So once you have a clear picture of exactly where you stand, you will never have a problem while applying for roles that fit your background or your skills. I also want to tell you something that I wish someone had told me earlier while I was starting. Getting rejected doesn't automatically mean you are not qualified. No. Sometimes it's maybe timing, it's competition, it's your application, or sometimes it simply means that another candidate was a better fit for that role. Don't always let one rejection convince you that you will never get hired. No, in fact, those rejections, I want you to take them as a learning step for your application. Once you get a rejection, it is going to tell you something that you need maybe to work on your skills, you need to work on tailoring your CV, or maybe you just want a clear practical on exactly where you are. And sometimes if you want something, or maybe you want a clear picture of your application status and how it actually went, sometimes advisable to just go ahead and ask for recruiter or the hiring manager for a specific response on how you actually performed in that interview or in that application. And that has been something that has worked for me, and it has helped me improve in areas where I had some issues with. Another practical action plan that I want you to do today is that choose one career path, update your CV to match that one role that you actually want, then optimize your LinkedIn profile. I have been speaking about this a lot of time because your LinkedIn profile is one of the profiles that recruiters and hiring managers first actually land on. Then apply intentionally instead of randomly. Don't just throw your CV and applications everywhere. No, keep learning while you wait, because advancing on your skills and also adding on more skills and improving on your knowledge is also a key takeaway. Those small improvements repeatedly, consistently, often make the biggest difference. Because I'm speaking from experience as somebody who has repeatedly gotten so many rejections, but finally understood exactly where the mistakes and areas of improvements that were needed. I'd also love to hear from you. Which stage are you stuck in right now? Are you getting no responses? Are you getting interviews but no offers? Or are you just starting your remote job journey right now? So leave a comment down below, because your question might become my next video. You never know. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.